Thank you guys for tuning in to the Rocky Road. I know I left you for a little bit, but you knew I couldn't stay gone for long. I am your host, Rocky Rocket, and this is the Rocky Road, a show that supports independent music artists, the independent music scene, and the people who support all of that independentness. And speaking of support, we have not your average CEO K Bay with us as a guest today. First guest of 2021. Woo!
Woo, woo, woo.
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
welcome. Well, thank
So,
you. I am very humbled and delighted to be here. So thank you.
of course, of course. So, to all of my Houstonians, y'all know I'm a native Houstonian, but we got Pittsburgh in the house today.
Pittsburgh in his house.
And I felt it was completely appropriate and necessary to talk to K-Bay about the independent music scene and talk a little bit about how she supports her local music scene in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do, Miss K-Bay?
all right. So I am not your ever CEO, K Bay. I am CEO of Grind City Media LLC, located in Pittsburgh, PA. I own a photography studio, a music studio, and a TV studio. And in the midst of that, I've put together a Roku channel to help independent content creators get on a different and global platform. So I run all of that stuff and drive myself crazy and pull out my hair. I used to have locks. Like if you'd have interviewed me 2 months ago, I was sitting on my hair. Yeah, run a TV network. You'll pull your hair out. But I started out as a DJ and then a producer and then an MC. And when I began doing these things, I've been in this for 26 years. So when I began doing this, the first thing that I realized was that independent artists did not have media coverage. You would go to a show, you would not see too many media outlets, and the ones that you did see, you wonder forever where that footage was. Some people still have not seen some of the footage that they have been involved in. You don't see it unless you get rich, and all of a sudden here comes this, well, back in the day footage. So the more I perform, the more I realize we need platforms and we need media. So I went from performing to developing TV shows on our public access TV station to throwing live shows and live streaming those shows to my website. So I've been live streaming doing this with shows for about 15, 16 years before this was even in existence. Yes, I learned the little dumb codes and bought all the equipment, and now it's like, you just hit a button, you can go live from the toilet. Hey, thank you. I spent a lot of money on it. Yeah, I'm a little crazy. I'm a Gemini. Don't pay me no mind. But
Oh no, okay, this interview is over, y'all. Sorry, bye.
Just go home. Call it a day
Go
now.
home, y'all. Nothing more to see here. It's over.
Yes. Yeah, so you don't know which
Everybody
one of me you'll
knows
be
how I
talking
feel
to
about
me.
Geminis because I love Geminis, but
We
woo
crazy.
child, they put it in your life.
You don't know which one of me you'll be talking to at any given time, but
Yo, that
all
is
of us are
fine.
friends.
That's fine. I'm a Geminiologist now. I know how to do it. It's
A
fine. It's
Geminiologist.
fine. I'm an Aries.
Oh, you know what? Y'all are the most bubbliest. I will
See?
kill you people in the world. I will kill you with a smile. Yeah, I don't trust y'all muscrunchies at all. Mhm. Talk about us being like y'all sit there.
Oh man, we just
Kill us.
completely got off to a wrong start.
Anywho,
My bad. We just
uh,
completely.
that's good. That's a real
Man, we
honest
should
talk.
have saved
We
that for
still
the
smiling.
Yeah, we should have saved that reveal for the end though.
Hey,
So,
I try to
so
warn people
tell
up
me
front.
about. Yes. Yeah. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. But so tell me a little bit about what made you decide to go to being an independent media producer and building a platform for independent artists as opposed to working for people, as far as in the media was concerned?
I'm a Gemini. We don't take orders from no. What I discovered was we all have an opportunity in our journey to pick something, right? It's part of your journey. You'll have these different opportunities where you have to follow, and then sometimes you have to lead. It takes a lot of courage to lead when your heel is really, really stiff, like it's steep as heck. What I realized being a female, I got into hip hop. My son was 5, so I got into hip hop at 24 years old. So I wasn't naive. I wasn't like I listened and I DJ, but to actually get on the stage and do what I was doing, I wasn't a kid in this. I was a grown ass woman, right? So I started to see how differently women got treated in this industry, right? How when I threw a show, if a woman was in the group, she was probably the best person in the group, but all the men got the hype. So when I began throwing shows every year, every October, I threw an all-female show, female DJ, female host. No man could touch the stage, period. You just could not. You will have to come in and support these women. And as I began to grow, I realized that I can be an artist or I could be a fan. I
Mm.
love to see people get on stage and get that feeling. Like a lot of people don't understand, as an independent artist, your payment is if you get on stage and you say ho, and everybody say ho. That might be the only payment you get for all the work that you've done, all the money you've put in it. The only payment you might get is getting that energy back from when you perform. So I wanted to be able to provide that type of atmosphere. So when I did throw shows, they were called the Hip Hop Buffet Series. We had free food, everybody ate. I live streamed it. They got their stage performance, and we made sure that everybody benefited from the show. The promoter, the venue owner, the crowd, and the artist. Everybody has to benefit. I realized that people weren't doing that when they were doing these events for independent artists. They were acting as though they were doing people a favor. This is not a favor, this is business. You as an artist, you're not doing me a favor by getting up here performing your stuff. You're not doing me a favor if your people come pay at the door, because they gonna eat when they get here. I'm not doing you a favor by providing a venue. We're doing business. And when I realized that a lot of people in the business weren't doing business, I said, I got to change this. And the only way that I could change it is I have to be willing to stand alone and build alone and take this journey up this very steep, long hill and be all right with it.
Mm. Mm.
And that's what I'm doing.
Man. So then tell me about your rocky road then. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so all right, so my rocky road. Goodness gracious.
Yes.
I'm a 24-year-old female producer who raps. I make my own beats. I have my own equipment. I don't need to go outside of self to get something complete. I could tell you an instance where I actually started the first hip hop awards in my city. They were called the Hip Hop Buffet Awards, and they were specific to the show that I threw. And that next year's guy, rest in peace, Brother Muhammad, but he was this big time promoter. He had the money, and he threw the awards at the Sheridan downtown, and everybody flocked to it. It was a big front, but everybody flocked to it because it was big. People don't know the difference between big and real. It's a big thing. And I recall being nominated for this week award, and the person that won was somebody we never even heard of before. So I said, that's it. Don't put me on that. And that's a wrap. So the next year I had to meet a DJ. I did not want to go down there, but I had to meet a DJ down there because we were doing the mixtape. And I remember standing on one side of the room, And on the other side of the room was every independent media, blogger, videographer, everybody. 90% men was on the other side of that room, and it was just me on the other side. And I remember looking, it's like in slow motion, looking each and every one of them in their eye. Every one of them. It was about 26 of them. And I said, Buttons, because you know my name's the Button Pusher as well. I said, Buttons, if you're going to win, you're going to have to outgrind every last one of these people. And for a long time, that was my motivation. And for a long time, my road was rocky because I am this female who is harder looking. I'm not very feminine. I outgrind men. I'm homosexual. I have a son, so somebody got it, but you can't get it. You know what I'm saying? Who got that? You know, because at the time I was a little smaller, so you could see the curves. You know, even though I kept them covered, you know, once was
Oh my
approached
goodness.
me like, well, you know, trying to find a way to get to that woman that they can dominate. And for the first 24 or 5 years, I could not. Now I'm nicer because now I know what I'm sitting on. When you're building like that and you know you have to pretty much mash everything that's in your face, you don't have time to be passive. You don't have time to be soft spoken. You got to kick that door in and smash it down her throat, shred it up, put it in their, you know, cereal, pour your milk on it straight from the tit, and you drink up, honey. That was the attitude, and I had to be this way. But my babies, they, you know, they come back 10 years later, but you were right. Well, I had to be tough on you because it was tough on me. So when we talk about a rocky road, we're talking about a road where a sister was spitting positive stuff. We're in the middle of gang wars in our city. We're in the middle of police killing us. I was spitting the stuff that they talking now. I've been spitting for years. And the thing about it was I wasn't spitting to our local politicians. I was spitting to us. So if it applied to you, I don't care if you was the local politician or just you. If it applied to you, put that shoe on, wear it, and do something, change something. So that was unpopular. I was very unpopular, but I was popular because I was providing the opportunity that nobody else would do because I was spending my own money. So we're talking about a single parent that raised a child in hip hop. My son is 29 years old now. I got my first grand. He looked just like me.
Yay!
Uh,
Congratulations.
and raised this son in hip hop who this son had to share his mother with this city. So he was a pissed off little boy because he wants Jordans and you're getting regular ass Nikes because I got to put food on this for this shows. You're talking about someone who went against the grain the entire way. I still do. And said, it is our responsibility as nurturers and mothers to raise this nation. Doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter if you're strong looking or passive looking. You are a mother. It is our job to change the direction of these babies. And I'm going to do that whether I like the journey all the way through or not. I'm going to stick to it. That's what I've been doing.
You're gonna make me cry. Like I've
But
never
my
cried in
name was the
an
Button
interview
Pusher,
before.
so you know I had to switch up from the Button Pusher because I have a documentary out. I have a book out. I've done many things to document what the Button Pusher did, but my job was to press those buttons, make you think or make you drink. I switched to Not Your Ever CEO just this year because now Grind City is I have a building. I've been at my building for 6 years, so now I need people to stop seeing me as this rapper chick. Because it didn't matter how much I was doing as a CEO, they still see me as the Buttons. Hey, Buttons, no, I'm CEO. You ain't got no bread, get up my grill. So Buttons would love you and push you and persuade you and do all these things to motivate you. I left a trail for that. I have a book called The Building Process. Read it. Because
I
now,
will.
not you personally, but I'm just saying
No,
for
I mean I will.
thank
I
you.
mean
It's on
that.
Amazon. It's on Amazon. But I left a trail. I left the documentary. The documentary shows you what I did. The book tells you how I did it. And it was also my very first CD I ever released called The Button Pusher Who. And the documentary is called The Button Pusher Who. And you can hear the emotion behind how I was feeling when I was doing these things. And I did it like that for a reason. When I finally released, I was like, listen, People need to understand there's a real human being behind this. Y'all think I'm this way. I'm really not. But sometimes your mother got to whoop your ass. And you be upset with her when she tough love you, but sometimes it got to be like that. And then she'll come back and she rub your little head and she say, baby, I love you. And it really did hurt me more to smack you than it did you. But I got to smack you because when you get out there and she smack you, she's not forgiving. She'll kill you. So I'd rather beat you than let her kill you. And we have not been doing that as a nation of people, as a nation of mothers, as a nation of nurturers and families. We have not been doing that. So now she's killing us. And she's using every weapon that she can foster to do so. So that's my rocky road journey.
Yo, wow, whoa. Yo, I feel revitalized from that news that you were Gemini. This is wonderful. This is great.
Wait till you speak to the other ones. I got kids in here too. What do you mean? I got those too.
Yo, you know, let's dig into what you just said a little bit. I know that in this independent music industry, right? There have been a number of men after men after men who created this system that we are, as Black women, as women in this music industry, are kind of accustomed to going through.
Yeah.
At the same time, breaking the mold, changing and evolving is what needs to happen, because the old way, you can only go that way for so long.
Well, you're absolutely right. And I think that even though we have our Black girl magic, one thing about me, and this is a little personal, but I gotta throw it out that you can understand the road. Things occurred to me when I was at a very young age, right? You know what I'm saying, right? So they stole my magic before I can understand what it was. Does that make sense? So that magic that our women have is that feminine energy, right? And it's soft and it's glowing and it's very tantalizing, right? And it's sexual, right? And so a lot of us know how to use it. The problem is, as much as they think it's power, the reason that we found ourselves in the same situation constantly is because the men has allowed us to think that that was power, right? So I don't want to say blessed that these things occurred to me, but I had to learn a different kind of magic within myself because that part is broken in me, right? So I had to learn this different kind of strength and this different kind of, all right, well, I could rock this, or different kind of whatever my magic end up being, right? I'm still your nurturer. I'm still your mother, but in the same note, I'm gonna smack you like your daddy as well, because they broke that in me. These men broke that in me. So fortunately, it didn't kill me. I won't give them credit to say it made me stronger, but it didn't kill me. So when I learned to navigate through this, most of the things that the women have to deal with on the road in this industry, because they know their magic and they know it's effective, I didn't have to deal with, because it was like, come on, bro, just look at me. And then go ask your girl about me. Right? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, without even standing, but real rap. Like, don't even think. So now I'm getting those other kind of ways that they want to discriminate, but I can handle that. What I can't handle is you pushing up on me because your part is hard. I'm not built for that. I'll kill you, right? So the other parts that you want to discriminate against, that's fine, because I'm already tough. I already know that I got to fist fight you to get through this. That's cool. So I didn't have to deal with the what do they call it? The green room thing. I probably had to deal with that twice, right? I remember one elder, I ain't even going to tell you the rap group he's from, but it was a very, very influential rap group. And this is what made me not want to work with industry people ever. put my hand, when I first met him, I put my hand out to meet this gentleman, and he took his hand and he rubbed it from the back of my hair all the way down to the back of my thigh. And that is how he greeted me. I knew from that moment that man would never respect me. I knew he would never respect me, but I made him do it anyway. Not from anything else other than my grind. You ain't gonna respect me, but you're gonna respect my work. Right? So when we as women start to do this journey, your magic is beautiful. I might be a little jealous. I don't know. But I do know if you get stuck on just using that magic, it will stick you in your ass. But if you say you're going to respect my work, whether you can see through my dress or not, now we're on a whole nother playing field. Now we're on a whole nother playing field. And so I think that's the issue when we're looking at women in this industry. Men already have their role for us, right? And we can't continue to accept that. We can't continue to say, if I get cool with such and such, I'll move up in the game. Because if that's your way of getting up in the game, sooner or later, such and such gonna want something back, and it ain't money. He already has that. And then once he gets that, we already know what it is. You're either going to be indebted to continue to give him that, or you're going to get slandered. And you know, women don't last well unless you're Wendy Williams. You don't last very well being slandered in this business. So you have to have enough courage to say, I'm going to take this one little brick and I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put a little mortar around it. And it might take me 5 years to get the other brick, but I'm going to get the other brick and I'm going to put it on this brick and I'm going to build this myself. And I dare you to try to tear it down because you can't destroy what you ain't built.
Wow. A message from God.
Yeah, my God protects me all the time.
I'm speechless. It's not often that I don't know what to say next, but
on the rap and roll,
wow.
It's the grinder, JPB in control. Don't let my smile, let me hear your whole. Your best is to clown, your best bet to roll. Each time I grip Mike's young minds, I mold. Bougie folks is hating, put your plots on hold. Rebels in the building to make your place flavorful. And lames to scream, Hutchkin, now you're cold. I've been mashing the scene. These mics I own. Those who dare challenge me shouldn't come alone. See me, I press crowds like Mario Doves. Spin hard like brick shot through my rebels clone. Never bang to be the best, but my words hit home. I'm built for the future. These states I do not condone. Someone must raise their mind, so I carry the load. All I built wanted me, so I cannot be cloned. They didn't want to hear that.
What? No,
they didn't want to hear that.
Yo, okay, wow. I need a break. Hold on, I'm grabbing onto the wall. Hold on.
They didn't want to hear that.
The wall.
Yeah, they didn't want to hear that, and it's amazing because I didn't get on stage to rap. I love to perform; it's my favorite thing, right? But I suck at rapping, really. And I suck at making beats. I just do it well enough to get on stage. But the only reason why I got on stage because at the time I was saying jpbtv.com, and when I get on stage now, I say Grind City. Got biz, Grind City TV Roku. These are ways I had to teach them. If you, an elder told me, if you have a business and you're not always talking about your business, then you don't have a business. So my objective was to put everybody in the room, let you get on stage and do your thing, just so I can get on stage and tell you about my thing. See, we don't think like that. We don't think like that. And when you look at the network is built around that methodology of thinking. I will say your name if you say my name. Now, if I got 50, I just added 2 new shows today. We have 20 producers from 8 different states and a global network on grindcitytv.biz. She's a global network. This lady is giving me movies from all over the world, but they didn't have a channel. Guess who had the channel? Wow. So now we have international stuff and they're saying our name. So when they say Grind City, they talk about everybody on this network. So every time somebody on this network says Grind City, we're talking about each other. Now, I don't know about you, but I know Me standing on the island going me, compared to us standing on the island going, hey, we're going to get the helicopter to pick us up much quicker when there's more of us saying it, right? So that's the methodology around how I built what I built, period. I've always used the same mentality. I just used it on different things to build different things.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Wow. I really am like.
Well, I was born in Macon.
Yeah, you just take it.
Right?
Just take it. I'm gonna sit over here.
And my mama and my daddy would. No.
Man. So like, you know, what's crazy is like I have been in this music industry and seen a whole lot of selfishness, and had a lot of people make me feel like I'm crazy for thinking us. Make me feel like I'm crazy for putting artistry before and the mission before a paycheck, right? Because you know, not all money is good money.
Not all money is good money, baby.
And if you want to make money, this is the industry for it. You can make money doing whatever in it.
We just not the ones you want to deal with.
Not the ones you want to deal with.
I had to tell a sister the other day. She was on my network. Let's see. So Grind City TV Roku turns 1 in March. We're not even a year old. The Roku channel's not a year old yet. And the sister was on there for probably about 9 months. And when she first got on there, she was putting her logo on stuff like she agreed to do, and all these other things. And then I seen her show starting to get a little buzz, and I said, "Here it comes." East Coast people mind frame different. I'm from the East Coast, but they mind frame, they're very selfish. New Yorkers and Jerseyers, I hate to categorize people like that, but their mind frame, they're a little selfish, a little arrogance up this way. When I started looking, I said, "Here it come, here it come." So I asked her, I said, "I see you blowing up, sis. I'm proud of you. I don't see our promo like we used to. Why I mention you when we live? Do you watch our shows? I have 18, 20 different producers. I can't watch everybody's whole show. My job is to play that show when I said I was going to play it. Your job is to make sure we're represented on there. That's your job. If I have to ask you about that and I'm spending my money to put you on this network, you're in the wrong place." Well, thank you for the opportunity, but I'm just going to get. Now,
bye.
DaButtonPusha would have reacted to that. DaButtonPusha, the crazy ass Gemini, would have reacted. The CEO said, "God bless you." Because that's just the growth. Before, I felt like I had to fight these. What's wrong with you? You don't see the opportunity. Everybody's not going to see the opportunity. That is on them. Our job is to do our job. That's our job. If you don't understand it or you don't value it, I cannot make you. It's my job to go find people who will. But just know, you'll see me again. You will see us. You will see us again. There's too many of us for you to miss us. Period. And that's the mindset. Don't let anyone make you think that you're going down the wrong path. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. I tell you what, this year, 2020, was the first year after 26 years that I've ever made any substantial amount of money doing this. In 2020 of all years. And that's not a thing where I'm making a lot of money. This was the first time my studio was able to pay its own bills without me going into my work check for a couple months out of the year. That's a triumph for me. Hallelujah.
Yeah, that is huge.
Right? Because I've been paying for everything this whole time out of my an hour job. I don't make that much money. I'm a caregiver, so let's be clear. I work extra hours to get my guap right. So that's not for sympathy. That's because I take care of people on every branch of things that I do. And then I have to do things that's going to allow me to have time to do what I love to do. So if I work 12 hours for you a day, I work 12 hours, 4 days a week. I work 12 hours, 4 days at my studio. So there are 4 days a week where I do not sleep at all. I get off work and I go to my studio for 12 hours. I'm not going to work more for you than I'm going to work for me.
Yes.
When we develop that mindset, this industry will change. People don't want to do the shit. They just want to shine. They don't want to grind. They don't want to do that work. When we develop that as a unit, and that's what I'm seeing as the people on my network, these cats are out here making their shows. They're making them every week. They're submitting them to me on time. That's a grind. I appreciate that. So I'm going to keep dropping the commercials. I'm going to keep dropping the updated schedule so everybody knows this is real. This is, such and such join. I'll add it tomorrow. No, they joined today. They on it today. If I got to set up an extra hour before I go to work to make this schedule and get it out, that's what I'm going to do. Because I appreciate your effort as being a content creator. And I know everybody isn't blessed to have the things the tools that I've been able to build for myself. So I wanted to make something where people can concentrate on what they love to do and don't have to worry about, well, how do I get on Roku? Well, how do I get it? Come over here, because I know how to do that part. So now I don't have to interview as much. We got 7, 8 interview shows. I don't got to interview that. You'll see me do a few interviews, but not like I used to. I actually drop an interview 3 times a week to have content. I don't have to do that anymore because you guys are doing it. So why not let you focus on mastering what you love to do, and I put it on a bigger thing. Let me go over here and focus on figuring out how we get this money over here. So I tell them, man, hey, charge people. If you got a sponsor, charge them to get in your show. I'm not going to come after your money, because the more people that watches and says Grind City TV, the bigger we can get, and we can have people like Pepsi, like, yo, what's up? I see you got 200,000 subscribers. We need to put now. That's when I'll eat. I'll wait. I'll wait. But it takes a special kind of being to do what we do. So don't ever get discouraged. I understand, sis, and I feel it. And it can be discouraging and it can be heavy. But if you love this, you have to love it too. If you love to do what you do, don't ever stop doing what you love to do. Find a way to do it, or you will die slowly. You really will.
I overstand that. Yes. I overstand that. I literally, people thought I was insane. I woke up one day from my life in corporate America and just like, this can't be it. This can't be life. No, of course, this interview isn't about me, but this is
it's absolutely about you. It's absolutely about you. I'm an interviewer, honey. You ain't think I'm that up?
This is to hop on a piggyback off of exactly what you said in a very short way. I, grew up in the city of Houston being told that to be in the music industry that I would have to move away. I knew that this is what I wanted to do. But in high school, when, we're all over here figuring out everything that we want to do, I was discouraged because it was like, oh, well, you got to go to college. You can't live in Houston. You got to go get an internship in New York or LA. And you got to be broke and you got to intern and you got to do coffee.
You got to kiss some butt.
You got to submit.
Yeah,
you got to submit.
You got to submit.
You got to make yourself small so that you can move your way up in the company. And then they're still going to tell you what to do.
Yes.
So I didn't think it was even possible to have a career and make any money off of being in the industry at all until I woke up one day at my job and it was like, It's got to be something better than this to life, because I hate this.
Yeah, and
I
it'll
hate
start eating
my
at you.
life right now.
If you're not doing what you love to do, it will start eating at you. And I think that, we have to be careful when we allow other people to define our success, right? We have to be very careful with that. You have to be able to be all right with what you set for yourself. People don't understand that. Oh, Buttons, you got a Roku channel. You should be getting paid, man. You should do this. You should do that. You got a studio. Well, why you always got somebody in there recording? Because I ain't trying to record no dumb shit. You come in there spitting out how many times you gonna kill me and I'm a bitch and I'm a hoe. You ain't recording here.
Mm,
You ain't recording here. I
mm,
don't record that. So I miss out a lot of money because I'm not recording that.
mm.
Now I'll play your video, but because that's the energy that somebody else gets to choose if they're going to absorb. They can watch the video, they can turn it off. But I'm saying I'm going to take money to absorb this negativity in my humble little space. And then got to try to get rid of it. Making music is not like interviewing somebody for an hour. You can tolerate it. Then you burn some sage and burn some incense and I don't know, smoke a joint in and be all right, right? But when you're making music, you're talking hours of you spitting some bull crap in my studio. Nah, you can't pay me enough for that. Yeah, I've always been like that.
Yo. So let's talk about your team, how
Huh?
you built your way to okay, so everybody
There is no team, sweetie.
you know,
The Gemini Munch Scrunchies is the team. All right, here we go. What's up? I'm the button pusher. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one behind the beats. You know what I'm saying? I'll interview and all that. I'm the kid. I'll go get the coffee. Yeah, there is no team. I've been trying to build a team the whole 26 years I've been in this. Uh, my team is the people you see on that flyer. Those independent content creators, that's my team. I don't have anyone doing anything for me here. My wife will help me once in a while, but for the most part, it's just me. So
let's talk about them. The people who
yes,
you have.
yes. Oh, my squad. Oh, all right. So
Let's talk about them.
All right. So first of all, I gotta give shots out to them.
Yes.
My very first show. All right. So my very first show was me, right? I do something called Go Live TV Hour, and I interview people. So I had all this old footage from JPB, and I'm like, well, I put that on there too, right? Yeah, let's fill it up. Then I went to a couple people in Pittsburgh. Now, mind you, my schedule, this is the 29th schedule that I've put out. That's how many people have come and gone. Like, I don't play. It's nice, but if you're not going to, it's a commitment. So I'm not going to chase you for your show. If you can't have it to me when I tell you it needs to be in, then bye, because there's somebody else I can find. But I went to a couple people I knew in Pittsburgh, European guys, always the white guys first, and no problem, Buttons. I'll send it to you. And so I had independent wrestling. Funny shit, it's still there. The funniest thing in the world. Oh my God, you gotta watch it. Wednesday nights, 11 p.m. The funniest thing ever. Oh, hilarious. And then I had my man Sykes. Sykes is a very dope interviewer, and he used to do my shows when I threw shows. And I would always tell him, like, you're fucking around, like, you're better. And next thing you know, I look up, this dude got 400 episodes of interviewing everybody, and he's very dope with graphics. So a show looks great. It's always going, it's just dope. So they joined, and then it was like, I had a couple people from Pittsburgh. They was on it. Then they started hating. They want to put our logo on it. And I was like, all right, see you, bye. And then we started dealing with my favorite group of folks, Houston. And I tell you what, I've never been to Houston, but I'm coming there sometime, somehow this year, long as COVID allows it. I got with DJ 4500. Now, 4500, he was on my Instagram, and he is just always promoting somebody, just a sweetie pie. And I'm like, what's up, dude? You doing these mixes? What's up? I need you make me a show, man, so I can put you on TV. And he was like, we had a show, then we stopped it, then we're gonna make another show. And I mean, this dude made me wait months to the point where I was like, he's lying. He's fucking lying, right? But he finally came with the Discharge Show. And he just consistent. And what came from the Discharge Show was Miss Blue eyebrow raised up. Like, well, what is this that you do? So then Miss Blue joined on. I said, oh, she's consistent. And then Crowded eyebrow raised up. And I'm looking at Crowded like, what? An app that pays us and is by us? Oh, come, hey, you got a TV show? Hey, man, get this dude at me, man. I'm going to beat RJ in his head, for real. Me and RJ going to fight. He already know I'm stalking him. Boop, boop, boop. I'm beating him in his head, period. But
yes, do it.
I'm going to beat him up. He already know it. God, it takes 7 months to send me a damn picture.
RJ.
Yeah. So then,
shout out to RJ, man.
Shout out to RJ. Crowded room is dope. Shout out to Kingly C. Shout out to DJ 4500, and shout out to you, my dear Miss Rocket.
I'm coming. I know I am. I know I'm next, aren't I?
Oh, no, you're fine. But on the East Coast, my man Shaq from Sean City TV, he was one of the first shows as well. And he was just like, yo, we gonna make this number one. You know, New Yorkers, they big everything up. And then he went away, and then he came back, and then he was like, so he is my guy. I kind of tolerated a little bit more from him because he was like the first one that was like, that I didn't know. Now, mind you, I know the guys from Pittsburgh. Everyone else I've never met. Everybody else on my network, I have never physically met them. And it's what's
wow, that is huge.
A lot of them, like me and Miss Blue, never even talked until I interviewed her. It was all messages typed. But I started doing something called Meet the Affiliates because shoot, I need to know who you guys are, and I want other people to know who you got, who my affiliates on my network are. So we had Shaq, Sean City TV. Then Ho the Husband was like, and I'm looking like Ho the Husband. That's the dopest name ever. What y'all do? Hell, we do. Come on over. Consistence. I'm looking for consistency and persistence. Then it just started growing. J Mo radio show. Chaz Wentz just joined today. Then we got the Jersey Drive top 5 just joined today. Be Unstoppable. They're bringing us interviews. Then we have the MSE TV network. That is that global network. Shout out to Miss Sam. She's giving me movies, TV shows, talk shows, music videos. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. I just gave her Fridays. Like, you just Friday. Here, just get a whole damn day. Then we have shows that are actually produced at my TV studio. One of those being Youth Talk Sports Show. My man, Mr. Scrap, shout out to him. It's amazing because Mr. Scrap is one of me and Mr. Scrap were the two top independent artists, showcase promoters in the city of Pittsburgh. And we always respected each other's work, but we never did any work together. We've both been in it a good 20 years. And now we're doing a show together, and it has absolutely nothing to do with independent artists. Kids. Youth Talk Sports.
What is it about?
Youth Talk Sports is they bring youth who play sports in our area, high school, basketball, football, wrestling, all that. We bring them into Grind City and we interview them via live. So you can watch the show live on Grind City TV, Roku, the website, and the mobile app. You can watch it live. And we interview them. It's like ESPN for kids.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, it's dope. And tomorrow we're actually doing a special broadcast because one of the bigger name students in our area is about to announce where he's going to school at. He's going to college. So we're going to cover that and make it a big thing. What we're trying to do is prepare these young people for what it's like to be in front of a camera. One thing that I can't
Mm.
stand, and this is one of my motivating factors for doing media, is I can't stand when you see a new artist or up and coming artist or someone that just made it and you got the gold teeth, you're acting all weird to answer your question, you don't know how to respond to it, or you get caught doing something so stupid because you're not used to media. So we need to create a media on a level in between rock bottom and making it so that we can interview these guys and prepare them for what it's like when you have a lot of cameras in your face and people asking you stupid questions, which ones to answer, which not to answer, how to properly not answer a question without being rude, because you know now everything's social media. So we wanted to develop that for the babies. We have that, and then we just started today. It's actually airing two brand new shows, PB and J podcast. I don't know. These three guys, they just nuts and they just talk about everything. That premieres today. And then at 7 o'clock in about 1 minute, we're gonna have the premiere of we're talking Fatherhood magazine. That's actually something that's I executive produced from Grind City as well. My man Warren West does that show, and it's 7 different men who have different levels of education and success. We even have Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl champion in the conversation, and they're talking about fatherhood and
Mm.
what needs to uh, occur so that we can make some changes. So it's a very cool show because women, we've been always running our mouth and doing the work and whatever, but we need these men to speak up. We need them to. We need them to be just as important on being a father as they are on being a coach or being the guy with the money or the guy with the big car. Fatherhood should just replace all of that. So that show is
Yeah.
very important. It's a dope conversation. And yeah, we have that. And then we have our video rotations in between when we don't have a show. Oh, shout out to fall through the stew 216 down there in Ohio. Gotta get them a shout out too. They on it. But just so many, man. My man TJ Super Hype, man. TJ Super Hype is very dope. He does a show called Rock the Mic, and he's bringing the music videos that's like hip hop, right? That you might not know is out there, and he's intertwining it with some interviews, and he's very well put together show, very professional. He's on like 6 or 7 different Roku channels and networks. And people are like, you don't care about that? No, because he gives us our promotion like he's supposed to. I don't care how many channels he's on. Why would I stop him from being, you know what I mean? Like, oh, what who does that? So shout out to all of the indie content creators that are part of Grass City TV Network. And shout out to all indie content creators, period, because this is not easy. It is not easy to take your time, your knowledge, your skill, your passion, and put it out there for people to ridicule and talk all kinds of stuff, like it, love it, share it, don't share it.
And
Sometimes
to
just
each other,
yeah,
talk
or
behind your back,
steal it,
you
all that other stuff, right?
steal
Uh,
it.
yeah, still all that stuff, right? And they won't even share it. You might have one view, and it's the person you interviewed. So shout out to all you people who are doing this and taking the challenge of showcasing artists. And I'll tell you what, you independent artists, y'all need to stop being so daggone arrogant, man. Real stuff, man.
Mm.
Stop
Let's
being
get
so
into
arrogant.
it.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. But before we talk about that, I want to ask you one more question about yourself and what you've built with Grind City Media. I want to, you kind of briefed on something a little earlier that I want to go back to about 2020 being the first year that you were able to actually turn a profit and have Grind City Media actually take care of its own bills without you supporting it. I want to talk about that for a quick second because you have a whole lot of people say that 2020 wasn't shit, 2020 pandemic and
Yep.
all of that. And we're still in the middle, of course, of a pandemic in
Yep.
all areas around the world, many areas, most areas around the
Yep.
world. So let's talk about your grind
Well,
and really, were able to either coast off of what you already had
You know,
pulled in,
what it
or
was,
really took it up a level in this
you
point?
know, for 25 and a half years, I didn't make crap. I got blessed last year, right? So I built this. Like they say, you build it, and it will come, right? So I built this studio. I built these ways for people to communicate. Now, when I got my building 6 years ago, I had been in my basement or third floor apartment or wherever I lived. I would put up my studio, regardless, garage, wherever. I've been homeless 5 times, keeping my business going. Uh,
Mm.
so when I got my building, uh, I found it. I looked on Craigslist. I found it, but at first I was like, Craigslist, come on, God, for real. He's like, no, go over there. I go over there. I got my laptop open like this. I'm like, I want to put this in there. He's like, well, I ain't even open the door yet. I don't want to put this in there. Because you're giving me a shot. I don't want the people that I know or people that I know, men that I know, that own buildings to just sitting in my hood and they wouldn't give me a shot. This European guy opens the door. It just beat up. Just like this sink in the middle of the floor. The floor is just tore up. There's a toilet in it. He said, I need this amount of money. I'm not going to check your credit. If you give me the money, I'll help you build it. Bet. He said, you got 30 days. January 11th was my date. I said, all right, yeah. So I was taking care of one of my elders, my ladybug, Miss Vic. She said, we got it all worked out. See, this is what we're going to do. See, now I got to get my hip replaced. So instead of bringing somebody else, you can take care of me 24 hours a day and make all the money. You make the money and take it to him. She got her hip replaced. And the next day she fell trying to sneak in the pill bottle and broke the same hip she just got replaced. She was in the hospital for 3 months. I had no job. So every night I drive past this building, there's a point to this. Every night I drive past this building and I'll go, God, why would you put something that close to me and then take it away? Every night I sit out there, I got 30 days to get this money. One night I was there crying my sob story to my father, and I looked down and my camera was there. Now, I say the camera was talking to me, but it might have been one of these weird ass Geminis in my head. But the camera was like, what you looking at me for? You know what I'm capable of doing? Use me. I'm telling you, you couldn't ask me to take a picture of a rock. I wasn't going to tax you, but you was going to pay me. Prior to that, I had been giving too much. Prior to that, I had been doing this off the strength of the love. That's why the button pusher had to kind of go sit down so the CEO could take over, right? So I hustled up this money. I was doing weddings. In 30 days, I never had that much work from my business in my life. So that's my God saying, if you work for it, I make sure you have it. January 11th, I had that man's money. I called my brother. I'll show you a picture one day too. Me and my brother standing there. I called my brother. I said, I'm about to get this man cash. I need you to show up with me. He walked in. He said, oh, you out your mind? You ain't gonna buy this? Are you crazy? I said, bro, just shut up and get this man cash. Get a man cash. The first 2 weeks, I ain't hear nothing from him. I was like, oh man, this dude done got me. I didn't understand how building permits and stuff go. It take a while. After that, we got to work. Put that thing together. And I'm about to get blessed again because there was an abandoned house next door. And he owned that. And he said, if you stay here for 5 years, I'll fix that house for you. This is my 6th year. They just got done with the outside. They are now working on the inside of the house. So I'll be living next door to my studio. I said all that to say this. In 2020, when everybody expected to be tanking, I didn't expect to tank. I expected to grind like I always do. The difference this year compared to every other year was I didn't have to build anything. It was already done. I just had to wait for them to come. I just had to wait. Right? I say that to you, sister, so you can understand what you are building now. If you stay on it, just stay on it. Do everything you need to do for what you're doing. There will come a time where there will be a demand for what you're doing. And if you are sitting there with your ducks lined up in a row, you will eat well. Now, do I
Mm,
tax people? No, I don't tax you. I give you a fair price. But there was no one else that could. I have just enough square footage to have the ratio that was required for the pandemic. So I'm not
mm.
allowed anyway to have more than 30 people on my spot, which I never do. So if I'm helping you build your TV show or shoot your thing, and you got 6 people, I got just enough space to space everybody out where we are in compliance, and I have all the equipment, and I can stream you to my TV network, and I can record your theme song, and I can edit. You talking one package with everything, sis, from idea
Mm,
to product. You can walk in
mm.
my studio with an idea, make the beat, record your voice, put it on a little disc, put it to the other side of the studio, take promo pictures for it. I can edit that picture for you, make the poster, put you on the other side of the studio, record your commercial for you, record your TV show, and put you on TV. That is what I can do in my studio.
Wow.
The whole process.
Wow.
Because I took the hit and spent the money to build it. While everybody was eating, I wasn't. Last year, people wasn't eating. I wasn't eating shrimp and lobster, but girlfriend kept her weight.
Mm.
I still got 2 chins I'm trying to get rid of. You feel me?
Yo, oh my God, so many gems. And I promise you, a couple of times I really did tear up because I feel everything that you've gone through
Yes.
to bring Grind City into existence. But it's like you said, it's not just for you. You're not doing it with self in mind. You're doing it for community and to build something greater than what people have been accustomed and become accustomed to. But that brings me to what we were talking about earlier about independent artists feeling that they're entitled, right?
They are.
So let's speak on it. I don't even have a question here. I'm just gonna say go.
They are.
Whatever
They are
Gemini
entitled.
wants out on this subject, because I know they're already arguing with each other. Just let whatever Gemini, and I'm just gonna shut my mouth. I don't
You
even
know
have a
what?
question about it. You know the topic.
Here's the weird part about doing what I do. Now you have some people who are bona fide independent content creators, and then you have some people who are independent artists slash independent content creators. And you can tell very quickly who's serious about the independent content creator part. And you just wait. When you are an independent artist and an independent content creator, you are going to have to make a choice. Are you down for you, or are you down for the artist? When I became a media, yes, I can rap. As you can see, I can spit. If I really wanted to push myself, all the money I spent on this crap, I could have spent on me. But I was down for the art, the artist, the art form, and the growth. So I had to sacrifice my career in order to pursue something that I first couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. The problem with doing this and why people get discouraged when doing this is the artist. Hey, buddy, yeah, I'll interview you, but my interviews cost money. I'm not paying you for that. Then you won't be interviewed, buddy. I seen this one guy make a post say, I just spent $1,000 in the studio. I ain't paying for promo. Then you won't get promoted. How far do you think you're going to go when you jump in the whole pool of YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Tidal? We're all on that shit, man. We're all on every streaming platform there is. They already made the millions off of us. That's why they opened it up for everybody that could be on it. So where do you go where you're going to stand out? You build something. You build something else. Now, the people who get that can be an artist and a content creator on our network. I'll play your music video and your TV show. But when you have artists that try to jump in interviewing other artists to build their name up, watch those cats. And I have a couple of them on my network right now. Actually, just two. Actually, really just one. Because I love Miss Blue. She's awesome. She's really about the people. But there's this one guy, and I'm watching me so mad. I just put out a banner, and I had like his homies on. He said, "I see you got my friend on there very quick," and I'm like, "Yeah, she's consistent, bro. I see you pushing you. I say it all the time. I see you pushing you while I'm pushing us. We not the same."
Right.
So, dear artist, understand what you are in. This is a business. There is no homie hookup here. If I decide to give you something, that is a choice. I am doing that of free mind and free will. If I decide not to give you something again, that's also a choice. When I tell you to pay, that is business. I don't owe you shit because you ain't gave me nothing. You haven't given me anything, and I'm not asking you to. What I'm saying to you here is the service. You're either going to choose to use it or get the hell out my face.
Decisions.
Not hard.
Not
very
hard.
Easy. Very easy.
At all.
Also, dear independent artists, and I said this earlier, please learn the difference between big and real. I'm opening up for big name so-and-so. So the fuck what? Are you going to meet him? Is he going to put your album somewhere? Is he going to put your song where? So you just pay $1,500 to open up for somebody that you can't even go backstage and meet, but you won't pay me $100 to interview you live on TV, show your music videos, and let you perform live on my stage. Boy, who you talking to? Deuces, my dude. Dear independent artists. See, I don't get to do this. I don't get to do this very often. I have to interview these cats,
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Like I have to interview them, so I don't get to just be like your dumbass, right? So dear independent
Go ahead.
Dear independent artist. There are levels to this. There's you. If you go on tour, you have something called a tour manager and a booking agent. You want to take your tour manager with you. Don't come at me talking about my mic don't work. You should have somebody there to do that for you. Don't diss my platform if you didn't check out what I do. Do your freaking homework about these damn promoters. Do your homework. Like the one thing that drives me crazy is that, what is this thing? Coast to coast. Fucking coast to coast. I can't stand those motherfuckers. I'm sorry. They rape these artists and they think because they're big, but y'all keep spending money instead of doing your homework and reading the goddamn reviews on these guys. And they keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And they got big names co-signing the bullshit because the big name already got they 50,000 from them just to say coast to coast. Meanwhile, they booking the same fucking club that your boy booked last week that you didn't want to come pay $5 at. You got people paying $30 to see you. And they don't even get a glass of water. Dear independent artist. Dear independent artist, put your freaking mask on. It's a pandemic outside. I'm saying too many of you mom scrunchies doing these shows out here, hee and ha, talking about we coming to see you next. No, you're not. Not bringing that COVID shit over here. Protect yourselves out here, y'all. This This is real. Dear independent artists, there is something that you must have if you're going to be in this business. It's called a budget. If you don't have one of those, I'm going to suggest you get the fuck on out of here. Dear independent artists, I love you, but half of your music sucks. So, what I'm going to suggest that you do is to look in things like taxi.com. There are great ways to get your music out there as a songwriter, where there are other artists who have a better delivery and ear than you do. Not everyone is designed to be the person on stage. Know your place in this industry, take it, and wear your crown proudly. Dear independent artists, if you're willing to throw money at the camera in your music video, be willing to pay me to play it. I could do this all night, sis.
Yo. Yo, oh my God. Oh man. Oh man. You hit so many nails on the head. I know
one more.
Yeah,
dear female artists. Oh, dear female artists. Oh, my sisters, my baby girls, dear female artists. Dear female artists. Please know your fucking worth. Please know your worth. Please. It is, if you can spit, you never got to take your clothes off in this. Sell them on this, not this, sis. I'm so tired of every video. What? And the bitch and the batch and the bitch and the bitch and the bitch and the bitch. If you know both of y'all bitches get on the same song, just look at Style in the, who's the chick she did, the Nikki or whoever, one of them mother. They made a song together, W-A-P, together. Get together. You will fucking mash these dudes. Get with a female producer, a female videographer, a female blogger, a female interview. Get together. Dear female artists, know your freaking worth. I'm done.
Know your worth. Know your worth.
I don't know.
And if you don't know it, go listen to a Lauryn Hill song, because she'll help. She will. She'll help you out.
If you don't know it, put the mic down until you figure out what it is, because what you were doing is you were spewing what you don't know into babies who won't know because they're listening to you. Know that this microphone is a freaking tool, man. It's a tool. You don't play with it. You don't play with the microphone, man. Too many of y'all playing with this tool. And I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Now this is some shit. How I think. Now I want y'all to peep out how they exploiting us right quick. Look at the Hulu commercial with the basketball player Dame Dollar. He was like, Hulu got live sports, and they wanted him to say Hulu don't have something more than live sports, and they opened up a briefcase with the money in it, and he said that. Look at the Burger King guy with the money shooting out the thing. They're making a mockery of the shit we love. Is it really worth that? Because remember, my good people, when you get that much money, your community fades away. It gets very small. You can't come back, and they only gonna let you go so high. You get too high, they kill you. Just ask Kobe. They start saying you crazy. Ask James Harden.
Kanye.
Ask Kanye.
They drug you.
Who the fuck is he? Who is that guy? I don't know who the guy. No, ain't Kanye. He too fucking quiet. You know Kanye run his mouth? Who's this clone and Gucci man with teeth? What the fuck is it? What? Come on, man. Yes, it sounds weird and crazy, but if you sit back and you look at just your reality, you ain't got to worry about what we believe or what we see. Just look at your reality. Your reality may look very bleak. Because if you choose to look at it the way they want you to see it, you have to decide how you're going to view something, how
Mm.
you're going to do something. When you go to do something, you have to, it has to have a vision. I have a vision for this. I just think, well, oh yeah, I'm a build a Roku channel, and yeah, that's how it's gonna work. No, I knew that I was gonna get about 15, 16 motherfuckers who was gonna go away in the first year. I already knew it. I was prepared for it. Next, that's why the girl bounce, I replaced her with 2 shows. You can't
So
care.
let's talk about that actually, because that was one of my last questions you just started to answer right there. What do you have? I'm not sure that it always could go either way when I ask this question about the future, because no one can predict the future. No one could predict a pandemic. So, of course, nobody can predict the future. But what does the future look like for you with Grind City
I'm a grind
Media?
till I die. Rap hip hop until my breath stop. I'm a grind till I die. I might be 50 years from now, I might be tomorrow. I don't know. But what I can tell you is this: you'll remember me. My goal, I got a grandson. The legacy I leave, seeds, music, sure. I got one son, a grandson, a documentary on TV, a book. I left things for you. That's our job. We don't know what tomorrow gonna do, but what we can do is leave footprints from yesterday, today. So if you don't see me tomorrow, you can pick up where I left off. Best I could tell you.
Mm, mm. Woo, child. You just, yes, all of that. All
Yes.
of that. In fact, I'm gonna go so that I can go back, watch this, and take notes, and get your book. And guys, check out Grind City Media. How can people find you? Not your average CEO, K Bay. How can they find you? How can they support you? How can they come to you with a show idea? How can they how can they donate? How can they get sponsored? How
Every
can they
oh man.
like all lay it all out? How
All
can
right,
they
so
contact?
the nucleus of everything we do is grindcity.biz. We have a Patreon account on there, so you can go donate there. We have a one-time PayPal donate button if you want to really just say, hey, you know, I don't follow you that much, but here's $20 to keep your movement going. We definitely will appreciate that. I don't charge very much these artists these content creators. Well, I look like charging you for something you put on YouTube for free, right? But I do pay a lot to have my channel up there. My eventual goal, to answer your first question, is to make sure Grind City TV is not only on Roku but on Apple TV, on the Fire Stick, and on Samsung TVs. Like when the TV comes and you turn it on, we want to have a Grind City icon there, like they got Roku channel there, right? So our goal is to get that money up to so the channel can be in every streaming platform, period. So right now it's on grindcity.biz. It's on Grind City TV Roku. You have to have a Roku TV or device to add us. You want to go to the streaming part of that and go to the search and say, type in Grind City TV Network. If you don't have a Roku TV or device, you can watch the same rotation and that schedule. You'll see it all on grindcity.biz, or download the Apple and Google Play and Grind City TV on Google Play. You can watch the same rotation on demand. Everything's the same. The rotation, the on demand, it's on the site, it's on a mobile app, and it's on the Roku channel. Now, in order to find me, Not Your Ever CEO K Bay, you can simply type that in, Not Your Ever CEO K Bay, on Instagram. I am there, or you can simply follow us at Media Grind City. I do most of my work at Media Grind City. That is on Twitter, and that is on Instagram, and I am on Facebook, K Bay. And you'll see me. I got a big head, and I got this little boy next to me, looks just like me with a big head, and it's cut like that. That's my grandman. Don't talk no stuff. That's my grandman. As
Mm,
far as supporting us or being sponsored. Now, I'm gonna be very honest with you. Our schedule is filling up very, very quickly. So besides me trying to get you to be on our network, I'm coming for you, Miss Rocket. I'm coming for you. Uh, there's there's a couple shows that I've been looking at, like I really want, and you know, I kind of like what you're doing here, so I'm talking to you. But
Yeah.
we're getting to a threshold here, right? We're getting to a threshold here where after a while there won't be too many people to get in for the rest of this year. We'll see how the people who are on it last, and see if anybody drops and we'll be able to replace. But there will be a time, just like NBC and ABC and all these other places, where you blew, you missed it. So now you can just watch and support or become a part of the team of the people who are already on it, right? I don't just keep saying, oh, yeah, you can come, you can come. No, this ain't for everybody. This network is not for everybody. It's not. Some people will make it, some people won't. When those people drop off, then there will be a spot open. But right now, I probably have about 3 spots left, and I'm filling them like I'm really being very picky about what I want because I have a lot of the same kinds of shows, even though they don't have the same flavor, right? So your interview is different than Miss Blue's interview. Is different than my interview. Is different than RJ's interview. It's different. So they got these different flavors, but they're interview shows. So you don't want to have a million of those, right? You want to make sure that there's a balance. So I'm definitely looking for some comedy. If somebody can give me a nice comedy show, very well put together, something like that. Don't send me a whole bunch of melted together YouTube clips. No, don't do that. Put some work in your shit. I'm always challenging my content creators to upgrade. If I'm going to upgrade what I'm doing, I'm going to challenge you to upgrade your presence, what it looks like, what the background looks like, with your commercials, and put your commercials in there. Get people to sponsor you. Work, put the work in on this. It's not for me, it's for you. Even if even if you don't stay with this network forever, wherever you go next, you want to have that work ethic. So I'm challenging these guys to make sure. Now, some people I don't have to challenge at all. Some people I don't have to challenge them at all, but some of the ones that are newer, the newer people that are new to this, I want to challenge you to say, hey, look at that camera angle again. Hey, fix that. Hey, get yourself in there. Go buy you a camera. Well, I got to spend money. Yeah, you do. You're on TV. You want to keep this and you're on TV. So we want to challenge them. But if you want to, be a part of what we're doing, it's not hard. First thing I'm gonna suggest everybody do, go to grindcity.biz, join the site. You can join the email list or you can actually register on the site. When you register on the site, what does that say to me? That says, I'm really interested in what you're doing. So if you don't register to my site, but you're in my inbox on Facebook talking about watching my show, bye. See you, wouldn't want to be you. I pay attention to how people move, right? If you're watching my movements, don't think I'm not gonna watch yours. I'm watching you. So if you dick ride, and I don't do dick riders, I do grinders. So you grind whether I'm watching you or not. You don't just start grinding because all of a sudden somebody that's doing something's watching. You was doing that shit before. That's what made me watch you. If I see that what you're doing is dope, it might be doper than my shit. Hey, how'd you do that? Real shit. I'm always learning. I'm a constant student. I'm a forever student. So how did you do that? I'm looking to learn. If there's something I can teach you, I don't have a problem teaching anyone anything. But if I think you're doing it to steal from me, I'll teach you some shit. You'll be mad as hell at the outcome. Just because I teach it don't mean it's the truth. I'm a Gemini. If you come at me sideways, I'm gonna
bring it back to the Gemini. Bring it back to the Gemini.
I had to. There you go. There's your ending. There you go.
Y'all know this is not your average CEO, K-Bay, and not your average She Is. Not your average. I hope you guys were able to get a whole lot out of this show today. Please go back and watch it again, because I would have put a disclaimer at the beginning that you need a pen and a pad. Now that you know, when this gets posted, I will ask for it to be in the caption. Get a pen and a pad and watch this again and get your life. Please.
Get your life, yo. Get your life.
Get your whole entire life.
Yeah, I got to
Thank you so much.
This is awesome.
Thank you so much.
You're dope at what you do. Keep it up, Miss Rocket. Keep it up.
I love what I do.
Yeah, you can tell.
I
You can
love
tell.
what I do.
You can tell. You're
love
very dope. Thank you so much for
what I
allowing me
do.
to be on your show, and I trust that I did not disappoint you.
Oh no, you did not. None of your Gemini personalities disappointed me. I am so impressed. I am so impressed. All right, guys. Well, signing out. This is Rocky Rocket and not your average CEO K Bay. Until next time.
Ground City, baby. Did you stop?